Eala heads to Melbourne for Kooyong Classic. Filipino tennis ace Alexandra Alexa will play in her final build-up for the Australian Open at the Kooyong Classic in Melbourne. The exhibition tournament is set from January 13th to 15th. The field also includes retired net and now commentator Daniela Harchova, as well as world number 121 Priscilla Han of Australia and number 69 Donovic of Croatia. Eala and Viek just battled at the ASB Classic round of 32 last Tuesday, with Eala eking out a come-from-behind win 4-6-6 to 4-6-4 after the Kooyong Classic. Eala will make her Australian Open debut on January 18th. Meanwhile, Eala pocketed a prize money of $12,331, or more than P73100, for her semi-final finish at the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand. Eala yielded to Chinese Wang Xinyu 7-5, 5-7, 4-6 in their semi-final clash on Saturday. Aside from the money, Eala also 98 ranking points, 83 net gain for a total of 1159. That will give her a new career high of 49th at the Women's Tennis Association weight rankings. That's one notch higher than I's previous career best and 4 higher than her current ranking. Eala heads to Melbourne for the Kooyong Classic. The morning light in Melbourne has a particular honesty to it. It doesn't flatter, doesn't exaggerate. It simply arrives cool and clear, like a promise that whatever is about to happen on court will be earned. Eala steps into this light with a racket slung over her shoulder and a quiet certainty in her stride, heading toward the Kooyong Lawn Tennis Club, where history hums softly beneath the grass. Kooyong is not just a warm-up. It is a conversation with the past. Champions have passed through its gates wearing nerves like invisible badges, polishing their games before the roar of the Australian Open. For Eala, the Kooyong Classic is less a rehearsal and more a declaration. She is here, she belongs, and she is ready to test herself against the tempo of the season. The grass courts greet her differently than hard courts do. Grass listens, then responds quickly. It rewards touch and timing, punishes hesitation. As Eala warms up, the ball schemes low, asking questions that only precision can answer. She adjusts her footwork, light and alert, her movement a quiet dance of balance and intent. Each rally feels like a sentence she's learning to finish more sharply, more confidently. There's a particular kind of courage in preparation. The Kooyong Classic, tucked away from the grand spectacle, yet heavy with significance, offers that courage in measured doses. No ranking points, no grand trophies, just opportunity. Opportunity to experiment with patterns, to test serve placement, to sharpen returns against players who know how to disguise their intentions. Opportunity to breathe, to compete without the weight of expectation pressing too hard on the shoulders. Eala carries expectations anyway. They come with her name, with the flags fans imagine unfurling behind her every forehand. She has learned not to outrun them, not to fight them, but to let them follow at a respectful distance. In Melbourne, she narrows her world to the space between the baselines. The rest, headlines, hopes, comparisons can wait. At Kooyong, the crowd feels close enough to touch. The applause is intimate, informed. You sense the spectators have seen tennis in many forms. The elegance of serve and volley, the brutality of baseline exchanges, the patience of 5-set marathons. When Eala steps onto the court, she meets their gaze not with bravado, but with curiosity. What will this match teach me? What will I learn about myself today? Her game has always been a blend of discipline and imagination. The discipline shows in her rally tolerance, her willingness to build points brick by brick. The imagination flashes in the sudden change of direction, the drop shot that feels like a whispered secret, the backhand taken early to steal time. On grass, these elements sharpen. The court encourages decisiveness. It rewards players who know when to pull the trigger. Between points, Eala pauses, eyes tracing the white lines, breath steadying the pulse. Melbourne air carries the scent of eucalyptus and summer heat, a reminder that this is the start of something larger. The Australian Open looms, vast and unforgiving. Kooyong, by contrast, is a sanctuary, a place to make small mistakes, to calibrate courage, to tune the instrument before the concert hall fills. There are moments when the ball comes off her strings just right, low and fast, and the rally ends almost before it begins. In those moments, you see the future flicker. Not a finished product, not a final form, but a trajectory. Tennis is a sport of patience disguised as speed, and Eala has learned to wait for her game to arrive fully, even as she nudges it forward with every match. Off court, she walks the grounds, absorbing the quiet confidence of the place. Kooyong does not shout its importance. It lets the players discover it. She thinks of the week ahead, of training sessions under a hotter sun, of opponents who will ask different questions. She thinks of the Philippines watching from afar, of young players waking early to catch highlights, imagining themselves on grass that listens. What does it mean to head to Melbourne for the Kooyong Classic? It means choosing craft over comfort, process over prediction. It means understanding that seasons are built not only in stadiums packed with noise, but also in these smaller arenas where growth is visible if you know where to look. It means trusting that the work done here, quiet, deliberate, will echo later when the stakes rise. As the day Melbourne, Australia, the air at the Kooyong Classic was thick with anticipation. The sun hung low over the city, casting long, golden streaks across the historic lawns of Kooyong Stadium, and every seat seemed impossibly full. Fans had come expecting a dazzling display of world-class tennis, but few anticipated the drama, courage, and sheer audacity that would unfold on this electric evening. All eyes were fixed on one name, Relive Eala. At just 19, the Philippine sensation had already carved out a reputation as a fierce competitor. Known for her relentless work ethic and uncanny court intelligence, she had been making steady waves on the WTA Tour. Yet, to shock the tennis world in Melbourne, in front of a passionate crowd accustomed to tennis legends, was something that transcended expectations. The Kooyong Classic is not just a warm-up tournament. It's a crucible, a place where seasoned champions refine their craft and young talents test their mettle against the best. For Eala, this was the perfect stage. She had arrived in Melbourne with quiet confidence, armed not just with a racket, but with a vision, one that would soon set the city buzzing. The stage is set. Eala's journey to the Kooyong Classic final had been a study in determination. Her first-round match against a seasoned veteran tested her patience and stamina. With a trademark combination of powerful baseline strokes and clever drop shots, she dismantled her opponent in straight sets. Observers noted her composure. She didn't just play, she orchestrated. Every movement seemed calculated, yet effortless.